The former acting director of the CIA, Michael Morrell, he's come out and he's a big fan of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. But it's not for the reason that you think. Somebody who's involved in the intelligence agencies or in law enforcement, of course, they're trying to catch bad people doing bad things. And that's exactly why they like Bitcoin and blockchain technology. It's a public ledger. Michael Morrell, here's a couple of quotes from him where he explicitly explains why he's so interested in these technologies. The first quote says, "Based on our research, I have come to believe that if there was one financial ecosystem for bad actors to use that would maximize law enforcement's chances of identifying them and their illicit activities, it would be blockchain." He then goes on to describe, if all criminals used blockchain, we could wipe out illicit financial activity. Then he goes on to describe some of his important findings, saying that they have identified cases of laundering through cryptocurrencies remaining relatively small compared to the volume of cash laundered through traditional methods. He also concluded that it is easier for law enforcement to trace illicit activity using Bitcoin than it is to trace cross-border illegal activity using traditional banking transactions, and far easier than the cash transactions as well. And then lastly, he states, "I pay you $2,000 in a dark alley. Who are the witnesses to that transaction? Just you and me, right? With cryptocurrency, the whole world could be the witness." Now, of course, every criminal in the world, every money launderer, every drug dealer, every nefarious actor, their choice currency for doing bad things is still the US dollar and other fiat currencies. They can either use physical cash, which is nearly untraceable, or they can go through legacy banking systems where the only way to get the transaction history is if law enforcement or intelligence agencies go and ask a court to give them access. With Bitcoin, every single transaction is written into a public ledger. You don't need a court order. You don't need anything else. You simply can look right on that actual public ledger and audit it for yourself. Now, of course, I believe in financial privacy just as much as everybody else. I don't like the fact that all of a sudden everyone has access to every transaction. But that's what makes Bitcoin work. That ultimately, using blockchain technology, solve the double spend problem. There's many great teams in the Bitcoin ecosystem that are working on increasing financial privacy, and I'm excited to see what they come up with. But at the end of the day, criminals don't want to use Bitcoin because they know their transactions are written into that public blockchain, and anyone in the world forever can go back and look at the transactions. If you're a criminal and you're using Bitcoin to commit crime, you got to be a first-class idiot at this point. And so ultimately, the acting director of the CIA from many years ago coming out and saying that he understands why Bitcoin actually could help solve or eliminate illicit activity. A lot of people aren't going to want to listen to him, but I think that everyone should go and read this report because ultimately Michael Morrell understands exactly what law enforcement and intelligence agencies are trying to do when they look for bad people doing bad things. And it's very clear that they realize those bad people are using Bitcoin. It increases the likelihood that they're going to get caught. Hey you, did you like this video? Great, we make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.